Thank you. So my name's Lisa Smith.
And I'm Danielle Fletcher.
And a huge thanks to PENNA for allowing us to share Christmas Isn't Cancelled, supporting patients and families with virtual Christmas activities and entertainment. We are from Bristol Royal Hospital for Children, which is part of University Hospitals Bristol and Weston. We're a tertiary acute hospital from the southwest, which means many of our families are visiting from a long, long way away. So next slide. The theme came from the words of one of our senior matrons after the October matrons meeting in 2020, when it became very clear that COVID restrictions were going to continue. And it seems that she had a point. If we go to the next slide, being in hospital at Christmas is always challenging for patients and families. And in previous years, we'd offer a wide range of support activities, try and make the experience as positive as possible. With the requirements for limited visiting, PPE, strict infection control, what was left? Well, no dressing up, no decorations, no support staff, no visitors of any kind, and that even meant no Santa. So we couldn't let this happen. And when our Christmas team got together, we thought about how our clinical colleagues were changing their processes and challenging themselves. So we challenged ourselves, can we make Christmas virtual? The Christmas team historically have a very well-oiled programme of activity which almost runs itself, so we had to rethink. We met virtually, of course, to see how we might move some of the more physical elements to a virtual platform, just as our clinical colleagues had done with their remote clinics. We still wanted to provide those key elements of support for families that we knew they found helpful. Distraction with things to see and do to take away the difficulties of being in hospital, creating a sense of community and reducing isolation, allowing them to be part of the anticipation that is a key part of the build up to Christmas, despite being in hospital, and offering reflection, maintaining the important spiritual and reflective traditions of a hospital Christmas. But doing all of that within the principles of COVID safety, working within the guidance of our infection control team, and working together with all of the teams that you can see on the slide there. Next slide.
So the starting point, looking out at what was happening on the outside as well as on the inside, we decided to put a call out to entertainers and our regular visitors, such as storytellers, magicians and musicians that we know our patients already love. Many were already creating content and videos for their own audience because of the pandemic. So as part of our arts programme, which is supported by our hospital charity, The Grand Appeal, we asked whether they could create content for us too. So here on the slide, you can see a wide variety of content that was created and those who generously contributed. Next slide, please. So working with our Trust communications team, we set up a dedicated playlist on our Trust YouTube channel, which is where all of the videos could be stored and they're all in one place for people to see. A selection of the videos were also shared on our Bristol Royal Hospital for Children Facebook page, or we signposted from there to our YouTube channel. Next slide, please. So we wanted to ensure that we also included our patients and staff in our virtual Christmas activity. So we drew on their talents for our very own Bristol Children's Hospital's Got Talent. This wonderful video was filmed and produced by our fabulous play team. For patients, this was an exciting opportunity and a great means of distraction. And for everyone, it created a great sense of community. And that was during the filming and then once the video was released as well. Next slide, please. So as well as the entertainment aspect of it all and the talent show, we also did want to include our festive elements. So the Service of Light was a 17-minute video for those who'd had lost a child. It was made in collaboration with our chaplaincy and palliative care team with multidisciplinary input. It replaced the in-person event which the teams would usually do. And of course, the nativity. In this next video that you're about to see, you can see James, who created his own nativity scene with the help of a teacher from one of our hospital school teams. Next slide, please.
Years and years ago, a girl called Mary was on her own in the desert. Slowly, an angel came down and said to Mary, "You will have a baby and he will be the Son of God. You must call him Jesus." Mary told Joseph, "He is going to have a baby and he will be the Son of God."
We wanted to make our content as inclusive as possible, so covering different ages, different interests and different ability levels. We were able to subtitle most of our videos and we used Makaton where we could. So in this next video, you can see our play team showing not just their excellent Makaton skills, but also their excellent singing voices.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
So we know the anticipation of waiting for Santa is important for all children. So as Santa couldn't join us from the outside of the hospital this year, the role fell to Marius, our sensory play specialist. The sensory room became Santa's grotto for in-person, where safe, or virtual visits. And whispered conversations between parents and then the play team meant that Santa knew exactly what everyone wanted. So here's a message from Santa himself, which we delivered via our Facebook page, the YouTube channel, and we also put a QR code on patient stockings for Christmas Day. Next slide.
Santa is ready.
Hello, is this working? Merry Christmas, everyone! Merry Christmas, my little ones! I am so sorry I can't be here on this very Christmas special day, but you know, Santa needs to keep them safe too. But worry not, because last night, when I visited your hospital to drop off your special presents, I saw all the nurses and doctors working so hard as my elves.
Love that from Marius. So as you can imagine, we wanted to try to reach as many patients and families as we could. And as you can see from the slide here are a few of our examples. So we had posters with QR codes, we had ward iPads, and also the play team, and we had ward elves who were representatives on the wards themselves. Next slide, please. So we managed to release 25 videos across 22 days, which we felt was quite an achievement in the end. Our hospital talent competition was the most popular on YouTube, and our service of light was the most viewed on our Facebook page. And we felt that both pieces really created that sense of community and belonging. Next slide, please.
So here are a few comments that come from our Facebook page that came from families about the project. As you can see, all very positive. We also received really positive feedback direct from staff, but to ensure that we could maximise our learning, we did send out a very short feedback survey in the new year, and we thought we'd share with you a few of the statistics. We wanted to know how people had accessed the content, and you can see here that most of them engaged through Facebook. That's great, we have a really vibrant Facebook community, but we really want to look at how we can build on other options to widen access for future programmes. Next slide, please. In terms of reasons for engaging, fun is clearly important, but fun suggests it's also important to have thinking about who's presenting. This is where our links with Aardman and the Wallace and Gromit characters can be hugely helpful. Next slide, please.
So our learning videos created a great connection between patients and families at home, helping create that feeling of togetherness. Of course, because they're on YouTube, 24 hours access for anybody, not just inpatients. And it meant there was a wider range of activities available, and also meant more staff were involved, which overall helped with a really collaborative approach. And of course, because they're video, there was infection control was easily maintained. Next slide, please.
Our challenges, of course, were to start earlier. It's never too early for Christmas, as you can see, and our first meeting was this time last week. Looking at reaching families who are electronically engaged and managing around tech poverty, we can't just be virtual. Increasing publicity, that was our one disappointment, that more people didn't engage. And someone mentioned to us also that Christmas is too important to be virtual. So thinking about the visibility of our other faith festivals, not just Christmas through the year, and thinking with our Trustwide team about how we can better represent the spiritual side of Christmas to really build that sense of community. Next slide. So it looks like 2021 is going to be another virtual Christmas, but at least this year we can be confident that Christmas isn't cancelled.